Dyke bars had all the things. The drama, the romance, conversations to change your life, to change your mind, sense of competition. It also had community. Why is it gone? We need everything. We deserve everything.
Welcome to our Dyke Histories, a podcast where we dive deep into the living, breathing past and present of lesbian, bi, queer, trans, and non-binary communities. I'm your host, Jack Giesking, historian, geographer, and environmental psychologist, working in collaboration with Sinister Wisdom. This season, decade by decade, we focus on dyke bars with an asterisk, tracing the creation, spread, decline, and revival of brick-and-mortar lesbian bars, alongside the ever-present, not as equally recognized, and itinerant parties, especially those for racialized women and trans people.
She had a mansion, later called the Garden of Allah, and she had these fabulous house parties with ingenues in this swimming pool. They may or may not have been very sexual, like orgies.
We found a lot of examples of Black queer women gathering together in Harlem speakeasies, putting blues song on the jukebox, dancing together in ways that the vice reformer watching found to be very, very shocking and scandalous.
It was a rich darkness. We created because of the power of desire. We focused so much on bars. And yes, that's where we became the public face of our bodies. That's where our bodies entered public life. Where the touch you wanted was, I decided that we created a new gender, the gender of desire.
One of the things we don't think about is still to this day, 40% of people incarcerated in women's prisons identify as LGBTQ. They're where people end up after being at the bars. They're where people socialize outside the bars, but we rarely think about them as social spaces.
Even beyond bars as sites of politics, politics around bars, the site of activism and anti-racism, organized in response to women of color getting kicked out of bars.
When Koch became mayor of New York in the late 70s, he started forcing people out of those spaces and tried to close down other bars and succeeded in many cases to sell those spaces.
I personally am a very indoor person, but it does feel like the softball field is probably better for us overall, even though clearly in the Great War, the bars won.
My first lesbian bar, the windows were painted black. It was very tiny. There were all these women sitting at the bar, and they would all turn and look at the door when you walked in, and then they would look away. And there was always some girl breaking up on the payphone and crying. And the bathroom was always flooded.
One night I didn't even make it into the Click Club because I just was making out with the bouncers when they went out. I'm not gonna lie, there were 3 of them. There wasn't a gay club I went to I didn't have sex in. It was just beautiful and you had something for everybody.
Alongside the bars and parties, we talk about the structures that made them necessary, the lives they made possible, and the dyke worlds we built from them. Like our sponsor, Sinister Wisdom, a multicultural lesbian literary and art journal, uplifting lesbian voices since 1976. We share these stories so we know more about who we are, how we were, and why we fight to never forget. These are our stories of danger, of laughter, of sex, and of radical joy. We didn't just take up space, we built it. Our Dyke Histories from Jack Giesking in collaboration with Sinister Wisdom. Check out our newsletter at queergeographies.ghost.io. Our first season launches November 2025. Listen wherever you find your podcasts.